dating in Kampala feels, like a survival strategy.
There is, of course, there's dating and there's marriage.
Yeah.
But then now the kids have another thing before that, which is called talking. So, exactly. Your face is exactly where I want that discussion to happen. Because it's like, what is talking? What is considered talking?
We've messed everything up so badly.
Part of it feels like it's kind of on purpose.
Yeah.
Because then you never know where you stand.
Yeah. But the Muzungu had one word for everything. Talking, dating, unless you're unless you're married, it was all considered courtship, right?
Hi, I'm Afsa.
And I'm Liz.
And this is not therapy, but it might help.
Welcome to
She Knows Best.
So on today's episode is a cheeky one.
It's a very interesting one. It's a topic that we always discuss. You probably discussed it last night at the bar. You probably discussed it last night at brunch. Probably discussed it this morning while you were going to work, or even with your friends in the office. And that is dating games in Kampala. Dating games. But before we do that, I think we want to do a check-in.
Yeah.
How have you been? How is it going? How was your week? How have you been since we were last here?
Surviving. My friends keep laughing and saying that I say that a lot, but really, in this world that we are living in 2025, I think we're all just barely making it, but surviving. It's been a long week, very intense, a lot to do, a lot to catch up on, a lot to contend with in this Kampala. Yeah. And what about you?
First of all, surviving. I feel like that's the best you can do in this economy at this point. So if you're surviving, alhamdulillah, we thank the Lord for that.
Indeed.
It's been a crazy week for me. We shot a short film last week. It's been a while since I've been on a film set, so it was intense. I think it reminded me why I don't do it as often, but it also reminded me why I love it so much. So I'm still it's that hate-love relationship where it's after I do it, now I need another 6 months to a year to recover.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things where I'll do it again. I'll do it again for sure.
Yeah.
Just when is the question, but I'll definitely do it again. So I think that has been my week. It's been super busy. I was sunburned for the last 2 days. I hope it doesn't show today.
It doesn't at all.
but that has been my week. I think that's my check-in for the time, because it's really been work intensive for the past week.
Yeah, I was seeing your posts of your 6 a.m.s, 5 a.m. start time. I was just can never be me. It's not because
it's 2 a.m.
Do.
But that's how you know you do it for the love of it, because there is no way you would do that. You would do those hours just
back to back, on a daily. No, absolutely. There's absolutely, for me, I know myself, absolutely no way. Even that life as a producer, what
But that's the thing. But you see, that's the thing. All of us have different things. Also, if you tell me, because you'll send me documents at 3 a.m.
True.
You get. So even if you told me to stay up awake at 3 a.m. writing a document, I'll tell you you're mad. You are mad. There's no world where that happens. I'll be dozing the whole time. So So I think it's one of those things where everyone is meant for what they do.
Yeah.
I guess.
Cut out for different things.
Everyone's cut out for
different
things.
Yeah.
Different.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I think that's why the older you get, the more we realize now, especially in this generation, I don't think the boomers or our parents' generation had the opportunity to really discover what they were good at, what they were passionate about. We keep using the word passion, and they're "Fabi, you're passionate."
What is that? Does it make money? Does it put food on the table? Does it take children to school? That's all they cared about. So I think it's definitely a privilege that we should not take for granted.
Sure.
100%, to be able to pick and choose what you do and what makes your soul happy.
Yeah.
It's difficult. you're probably going to be broke and spend so much money and do all these things. But then at the end of the day, like, you're happy. Like, I was happy to go home at 2 a.m. and wake up at 5:30 a.m. and start picking people up to take them to set and just be on set, be in the sun, do all these things. And just, but as long as like you can see something that you've been discussing and talking about for 6 months come to life.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it must be pretty exciting. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see that.
Man, same. I mean, it's like, it's one of those things where you go, you shoot, and you're like, I hope to God the story that we intended to tell actually comes out like that.
Yeah.
So technically, I'm also excited because I also don't really know, because the story is really told in post-production. So I also don't really know what the story will come out as. But I'm excited because, I mean, we had such a great team. Like, I have a friend of mine, Derek, who's always telling me, he's like, you bring the Avengers, you assemble the Avengers. So that's what it always feels like when we bring a team together. Because it's like, I'm just so blessed to like always be on projects where the people that I work with, the people that I surround myself with, are just such great teams.
Yeah.
Everyone is working together. Everyone is like so in tune, but also everyone is supportive. Like, if the costume person doesn't have something, you see like someone is offering the bag, someone is offering the shirt off their back.
Wow, yeah.
If the content creator needs something, people are helping, people are chipping in. So everyone's chipping in and everyone's happy to support and do their role, but also support others. And I think that's actually, if I'm being honest, that's probably for me personally, the most exciting part of the process is to just see everyone thrive in their roles and the things that clearly they've decided they want to do. Because film is not mbo, you do it for money here in Kampala.
Definitely,
you get it. It's something that you do because you want to do it, you're passionate about it, and all these young people come together, and it's just so I think for me that's the most exciting part.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
No, but it's very interesting to observe like how you've committed your like self to doing, these films consistently over and over again, year on year. Like,
It's not easy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I keep telling people and I keep saying, I'm just getting ready for when Beyonce's Africa reaches Uganda. When that happens, I will be ready. So, other than assembling Avengers and doing all this, that is the main reason. Let's not forget. When Beyonce comes, I will be ready.
The message has been delivered. I'm pretty sure it's on her internet now. So she should be looking for you once she touches down. Once her people touch down, call us. You know how to call. Yeah. Okay, so diving into today's topic around dating in Kampala. Dating in Kampala feels, like a survival strategy. And, influencers have been selling us the soft life, the pseudo-trad wife narratives, and are reshaping how relationships are viewed in our economy, especially this very difficult economy that's already skewed by gender roles, patronage culture, and transactional love. But we've also seen a rise in red pill content on TikTok, in group chats, the toxic masculinity. It's on our radios. There's a radio station. I won't name names, but it's okay.
But it's also on our TVs now. It's back on our TVs.
So today we want to unpack those trends, these trends around dating in Kampala, but from a very, within our context. So we'll have a dilemma session. And that's something that we're introducing to the podcast in this episode. So we're excited to dive into this topic with you. It's one that we discuss. We discuss a lot.
I feel like we all discuss it. Like, as much as we want to pretend like, I don't talk about men, I don't talk about relationships, we all discuss it because at the end of the day, this is a part of our everyday lives. But I think to just like introduce the topic also, because you say dating, but I think what I want to know is, can we clarify what dating is first?
I think you're
because
right.
There is, of course, there's dating and there's marriage.
Yeah.
But then now the kids have another thingy before that, which is called talking. So, exactly. Your face is exactly where I want that discussion to happen, because it's like, what is talking? What is considered talking?
Talking
and what
stage.
Is considered, exactly, what's a talking stage? And what is dating? You get, like, what is the difference? Like, what is, like, at what point do you actually say we're dating?
Yeah.
And at what point is it that okay, when you start talking, when does the talking stage end?
And when does you transition into actual dating?
To actual dating? And also dating, I feel like there's a space between dating and marriage, right?
Yeah.
Because it's if you've done dating, there must be a transition in there, like where now you're exclusive. What's that phase called?
Because we're exclusive.
So that's the exclusive phase. And then there is the marriage phase, right?
But we've warped the whole, we've warped everything up so bad. We've messed everything up so badly, unfortunately.
But that's the thing. I feel like part of me feels like it's kind of on purpose.
Yeah.
Because then you never know where you stand.
Yeah.
Right?
With anyone, yeah.
With anyone. Because then someone, if I might be here thinking, oh, like, yeah, we're dating, but then it's like, no, we're just talking.
We're just talking. And then you're like, but what's what?
What is what?
But the Muzungu had one word for everything. Talking, dating, unless you're married, it was all considered courtship, right?
Okay.
Everything. Over you're talking, over you're seeing, over you're yet to kusima, or the parents are still in discussions.
It's courtship.
It was all courtship.
Okay. So, but you see, now that's the thing. Like, courtship. So is courtship the one, right? So is there something between courtship and marriage? Because I feel like marriage is the ultimate one, right?
It was all still courtship.
It's all still
That's
courtship.
why everything was still courtship. But but the kids, our generation, we've messed everything up so badly. That's why even in our parents' generation, they're like, "What's talking?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? But you're talking, but then some people or people, one party in the relationship has the benefits of a full relationship. But the person is saying you're talking.
That's exactly what I'm saying. So I think that's where we need to start from. Is we need to go back. We need to backtrack a bit, and be very clear about what is dating. Okay, what is talking? What is dating? Because now you're going to be in someone's Instagram for 2 weeks. You get, so I'm assuming that's talking. Then I'm thinking maybe like when you start
for 2 years.
And exactly, that's the thing. But like you now, so what? So for me, this is what I'm going to break it down to. I don't know if that's what it is, but in my head, this is what it is. So if the conversation is still in Instagram DMs, in WhatsApp, on messages, if it's still there, then maybe that's talking, right? You're getting to know each other, you're talking. The moment it now becomes face-to-face.
Is it still talking?
No. That one goes now you're dating.
But you see,
the moment, no, like guys, let's be serious. Because it can't be talking if we're just thinking each other. You get, it can't be. The moment it now becomes face to face, please let's now officially transition to dating.
But then, how many will you be dating? Because
that's fine. That's fine. You can date more than one person at the same time because that's dating. That's what dating is. Like you're tasting. You're here. You're there. You're dating. You're testing
you're seeing
it out.
around. You're shopping around.
You're shopping around.
Yeah.
And then now when it comes to exclusive, that's when now you've had that conversation. Again, let's stop assuming exclusivity. Because I've been talking to this guy for a month, but have you had that conversation, that exclusive conversation? So now that I feel like also that exclusivity conversation has also as if like taken a back seat. Then after you have that exclusivity conversation, now that's when dating is done, right? So now you're not dating anymore. Now you're exclusive. You're now boyfriend and girlfriend. You're in a relationship with this one person. And then, of course, now all the other things.
Yeah.
Can we please make it clear?
I feel like that's how it's supposed to be. Or that's how it was intended. Because you see, it's also very, it would be very irresponsible of me to just say, you know what, everything falls under courtship, but then that's not modern love the way it should have evolved and whatever. But then in the evolution of that story of love, the idea of, what's modern love and dating, these things have been abused, like
exactly.
and people really are just taking the piss.
Yes.
With this whole
100%.
talking. What are you talking to someone's child for 2 years? 2 years you're talking to someone's daughter. Imagine if their parents hear about it that you've been talking to their child for 2 years. What are you talking?
I don't take you to my mother unless I'm taking you there to marry me. You will never ever see my mother's face unless it is because I don't even know, by the way. Because if it was possible for me personally, at Dagusawa is when she would see your face.
Yeah.
Because even before that, I don't know. You might even decide to not show up at Dagusawa. What do I do then at that point?
I agree with you.
But anyway, I think that's the first point. Like now we've figured that out, dating a thing. Now we move on. to now the next step. Which is the 50-50.
But 50-50
50-50 debate. Equality or outsourcing outsourcing emotion.
Listen, the problem with this 50-50 conversation, I really have a problem with it. I don't believe, number one, to be very clear, the boys are going to come at me, it's okay, but I don't believe in 50-50 for so many reasons.
But also, can I first clarify, what's 50-50? Is it 50-50 in general in the relationship? Is it 50-50 finances? Like, what is 50? What are we talking about when we're saying 50-50?
But that's the thing, and people are not clear. People are not clear about what the 50-50 is.
So that's a problem. I feel like there's a lot of very unclear things in this situation. And who do we blame? Say it with me.
The boys. The
patriarchy. But
no, I don't believe it 50-50. I feel like it's another idea that has been abused, and it was a result of it came about because the girls were demanding equality.
Yeah, equality.
So now the boys, you take this concept and you run with it and you abuse it. But no, the girls, we haven't said we are going to pay 50-50 in the relationship, because even the equality, we are still like 150 years behind. So why are you saying, where is this business of equality in a relationship coming from? If even us, we are still fighting for
equal
just to breathe.
Because I think
we're barely,
I think it's the 50-50 conversation is a very, very, very unfair conversation. Because one, let's look at it at a financial level. One, the like you said, like we're still, like women are still being paid way less. You get, if you go in a company or whatever you're negotiating, the guy is going to be paid more because technically he has more responsibilities, right? So that's the reasoning for being paid more than the woman. So if, let me say, and this is me assuming like all factors stay the same, whatever, and we're in the same position as a guy, we fall in love, we probably, let me say we are both lawyers, we met in law school, whatever. Our careers are ascending at the same level, right? We're great. Same wages, same whatever. Same positions, everything. It's most likely going to be that I am paid less than you. I'm earning less than you. So if the person is earning less than you, and then let me say you're living in a house, and now you're saying we pay 50-50, but let me say you're earning 100K, I'm earning 50K. That's not 50-50, right? It's not 50-50.
It just perpetuates the inequality that already exists, and now it has just come into the home.
Exactly. So that's not 50-50. And then also, then you go on to like even the emotional labor, and even just the home, what's the homework? The domestic labor.
Domestic caregiving.
You get caregiving, all the things. Let me say now you have children. You get, we live in a world where it's, of course, the mom is the one who is going to, she's breastfeeding, she's doing all these things. She's barely getting any sleep. Or she's even like taking care of the kids. She's the one who knows their routines. She's the one who knows all these things. But you come back home, but she also has to go to work, right? But so you come back, it's not 50-50 again, because that labor, that domestic labor is not 50-50.
And the boys were bragging, sorry to chip in, the boys were bragging on social media. Did you see that? Like 2 weeks ago on X.
I'm sure I didn't
on
see
Musk's Yaki platform. Anyway, they were saying
a year ago.
They were saying a guy, I've forgotten, but it was a Ugandan conversation.
Of course, it always is.
And the guy said, loosely, to put it loosely, he said, I don't even know when my kids' birthdays are. Those are business. That's business for madam. But it goes to
business
show.
For madam. Yeah, now imagine. So that same person is going to go back home and ask madam for 50-50. You get. So where is that 50? My question is, where is the 50-50? Where is the 50-50? Again, but this is also the logical gender.
The so-called
because like you're not doing the math. Like the math is not adding up. So what 50-50 are you asking for? Yeah. And also, and I'm sorry, but the ones who are asking for 50-50 are the broke ones.
Indeed, but just
the
to
one
chip
who
in
has
there,
it is not asking for 50-50.
So just to chip in there, like that, this whole situation of 50-50 and the pay gap. Like me, there's an example, and I keep saying it. I keep sharing it when the opportunity presents itself, because it really speaks to how much work we still have to do in that space. There's a place I used to work at. I won't say the name, I won't say what. But so one time I happened to see the payroll for our team. And of course, the guys were being paid like 3 times more. So I mentioned it to my boss in passing of nange munyongere kusente because, you know,
the work I'm doing.
The guy said, for you, you don't have that many bills. I'm pretty sure you don't have that many bills. You have where you're staying. I'm sure you have someone who buys for you airtime and fuel.
Like that's the actual reason for people being, like women being paid less in these situations. Yeah. And yet, to be honest, like they probably work 3 times more than they are. So that's the thing. So for me, that 50-50 conversation, it just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't add up.
And it's not even because, I don't want to like pay bills or whatever. Like I'm paying bills where I'm coming from. You get. But the thing is, if it's 50-50, let it be 50-50. You get. Let it actually be, like, let's do the math and let it be 50-50. But also, women, when that guy starts 50-50 conversation, run.
Yeah, don't stay around.
Run, because I feel like that's not a fair conversation to have in any way, shape, or form.
Why? First of all, why are you with a man? It means that man akuling is a musa. Why is he a pocket watcher? He's a pocket watcher. Why are you with a pocket watcher? A man akuling is a musa. Even you bring. I know you bring this up. You make this amount of money.
Now you see that what he's saying, but I don't know my kids' birthdays. It's going to say, I'm a provider. I am a protector. First of all, that protector thing, that one we'll discuss another day. But like that provider thing is like, okay, you're a provider, but I'm also providing. But anyway, the thing is just that 50-50 conversation just doesn't make sense because it's never actually 50-50. So I think when you have that discussion of 50-50 or if someone is having that discussion with you of 50-50, break it down to them and tell them, okay, what exactly are we sharing 50-50? Because if 50-50 is in the house and everything, it better be, if so, the domestic labor, better be the emotional labor, everything better be 50-50.
Yeah, not just the money.
And even the money, if it's 50-50, you put down, let's also put down our money. What is 50% of what I'm making and what is 50% of what's your 50%? Let's put it down.
The same.
It's not the same.
You can't say that everyone, because rent is 1 million, everyone bring 500K.
You get. So that doesn't make sense. But anyway, I feel like I just really, really say stay away from that people. Unless it's a very genuinely 50-50 conversation of we are discussing everything from finance to emotional labor to domestic.
It will never
be. Rarely, very rarely is. If you've got that person who is actually that sane and that logical, good for you.
No,
but it's very rarely happens. So just don't let it happen at all.
Yeah, but it's not even I don't even know why we're having this conversation when about 50-50, when the people are now saying that some of the girls are saying that for them they want to be trad wives or they want to be stay-at-home wives. Kati omuntu wa stay at home.
Ngoli mukola content.
How are you doing 50? I mean, the problem with our culture is our relationships and how we relate to each other. Nothing is adding up.
I think the thing is we're trying to mix so many cultures and so many different economic circumstances and so many different cultures, so many different
ideas that may not
and things like this that may not apply to you. Because you're telling me, because a stay-at-home mom, you guys, I know stay-at-home moms. Most of the women in my family were stay-at-home moms.
Yeah.
So I know a real stay-at-home. She stays at home, like everything. Like she has no other source of income that is not coming from the man. But now you're saying stay-at-home, you're saying you're a stay-at-home mom, but you're doing an ad for Pampers. Madam.
But are you
You
just work remotely. You're a remote worker.
So now we're doing that, and then you're thinking you're influencing Madam this side who is in campus and is also aspiring to be a stay-at-home wife, but she can't compute that you're actually working. You get which is it?
And you're working because you really have no choice. Because these men, you can't rely on them.
That's the thing. I also, to be honest, in this economy and in this environment that we live in, I do not advise anyone to not work. Please work, because financial abuse is a real thing. Is a real thing. Financial manipulation is a real thing. Don't even, because the thing is, like, you can be like, I think also there's a difference between, because what they're seeing from what quote unquote is the trad wife or the stay-at-home wife is also what they feel is a soft life, but those are two different things. because you could have a soft life, but you're still working remotely. You get there's this girl that I follow on TikTok. I think she's American, if I'm not mistaken. And for her now, she tells you she's a soft life girlfriend. That's what she calls herself. Because she's like, guys, I work. You get she's like, I'm working, I'm doing all these things, like I'm doing all these brand deals, all these things, but I don't have to. Like
is that the chick who gets girlfriend allowance and had people up in arms on the internet?
I think that was a South African girl who gets girlfriend allowance. There's a South African girl who also had people up in arms. They were going crazy. And she told them, she's like, guys, me when I met this guy, I told him exactly what I wanted. I told him what I expected. I told him what I wanted. I told him I don't want to work. I don't want to do anything. If you're going to have to provide for me. And for me to look like this is how much it costs. Yeah, more bill. Guy nagamba, yes, small.
Expenses.
Please, Zizo, I'm going to pay for it. Now he's like, now I'm doing content and I'm getting paid off of like brand deals and stuff like that. That money is mine. He doesn't count that money. That girlfriend allowance stays the way it is. If I go to a salon that is more expensive, it ups. True. So so there's like that soft life, of which I'm also not condoning it. Like not condoning, but I'm not encouraging it, because the thing is, that rug can be pulled from under your feet any day,
very quickly.
And then what happens? Like, we all want a soft life, but like always have, like, I think even our mothers and our aunties are always telling us, like, have a rainy day fund. Whatever happens, whatever happens,
your money is your money.
Your money is your money. Like, also, even if you're staying at home, like, figure out a way to like have that rainy day fund, because you never know.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, I feel like, man, there's a lot of misleading information out there. People are not honest, transparent about, their lives, about this trad wife life, which over the past couple of years, there's been an increase in people trying to portray or trying to portray that trad wife life on our socials.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, it started with Nara Smith, but Nara Smith was a model, together with her guide. Yeah. For them, they've just continued their career. It's just on your phone.
Now on your phone, yeah.
But so that this idea that this trad wife life is accessible to everyone in that same format is misleading.
It's 100% it's misleading.
To a lot of young impressionable girls. So
I think my thing is with influencers, I think if you are being an influencer, if you are whatever it is that you are on social media, and I know like people always saying like, yeah, it's not my job to like raise people's children, why your children, and thinking, but at the end of the day, it's like, if you've taken up that role as an influencer, like there is so much, like even just you as a human being, like you have to understand that there's people who are looking up to you.
I keep saying you have a moral obligation and an ethical obligation to give correct and factual information, especially in this world that we are living in with misinformation and what. I think people with a platform, you have a moral and ethical obligation to be as truthful as
and
possible,
as
possible. Yeah.
That's the least you can do. Also to just also show appreciation for like the platform that has been given to you, because whether you like it or not, that platform has been given to you by other people.
It's other people. You're standing on other people.
You're standing on other people, and if you're not being truthful with them about like like why you're able to be in the situation that you are now, like for example that Nara Smith that you're saying, like her husband comes from like old money, you get. That's why they can be able to do all these things. Like that's not model life salary, you get. Like they come from like proper money. And even just like even when you bring it back home to Uganda, it's okay, yeah, you're showing people all these things. I think there is this lady who the engineer wife, I think she's also like a pastor, like her and her husband are engineers and stuff like that. But she's also truthful about like where the money is coming from. Like she'll tell you, she's like, me and my husband, like we're engineers, like this is what we do. She's not just there telling people pray, because she's also preaching, but she's not just telling people, oh, pray and like God shall give you all these things. And all. She's like actually truthful of like, me and my husband are engineers.
And this is what we did.
I think they install elevators.
Yeah.
That's crazy money. So you understand why they have an elevator.
The 1+1 is
equal to 3. You get, like, so I think be truthful with people. Like if you are actually one income household and you're actually a stay-at-home mom, then be truthful about that and be like, hey, like my husband actually works he's very well paid, he's this, he's that, he's this, that's why we can afford this. Because now you're going to go and you're going to have this girl who's going to be putting pressure on herself to now look for like a man or whatever, or even just explain that, you know what, like it was not always like this. Like we had to grow into this, you get? Because don't make it seem like this fairy tale life that just came to you and like you prayed so hard for it and then it appeared out of nowhere, you get? Because you're putting people on pressure. You're putting these children on pressure.
You're putting them on pressure and you're putting them, and then they enter vulnerable. They become vulnerable to these very bad relationships these
older men and whatever, like taking advantage of them and promising them all these things because they're like, oh yeah, like I'll get to live a life like this, you get? So I think let's be honest, because it's very like you said, it's a moral obligation, 100%.
Yeah.
It's whether you like it or not, it is a moral obligation to be thingy, because you don't want to be the reason why. Remember, there's a time when Kylie Jenner had just started when she had gotten the lip filler. And then she started telling girls how she's doing, she was selling her makeup and she was like, oh yeah, she just lines her lips like really thingy, like really out and stuff like that. And there were girls who were getting actually like were harming themselves because they wanted to have lips like Kylie Jenner, instead of you just coming out and being like, you know what, I actually just did the fillers, you get? So the girls were injecting all these things in themselves. Girls were crying because they were doing the lip line and they were not coming out the way that she said they were coming out. You get? So just be truthful. Like, it really doesn't cost you anything. But I feel like also authenticity will get you the right audience also in the end. So why not just do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. But also I think also at the end of the day, the most important thing is also truthful about relationships and marriage. Like, however much you're in like a relationship, however much you're doing all these things, like, let's be truthful. Like, man, just like, let's just put out the correct information there. But even I think the worst thing about like even this type of content is the way that we make it seem like, oh my God, I got married, I have reached the ultimate goal as a woman.
The glamorization, like we glamorize we glamorize and glorify this marriage.
Yeah, like you make it seem like it's a reward. Like, oh my God, like it's like the ultimate achievement as a woman. It's like, I got married, I got picked.
Because as we were saying before we started this, as we were saying earlier, for me, like the way I look at achievement is achievement, especially for us as women, but achievement generally as human beings, should be that thing that you have that no one can take away from you. Like, you wake up in the morning and no one can take that thing away from you. For you to call marriage an achievement, the problem with it is you can say you've reached I have no problem with saying I've reached a new milestone in life, but it's not.
And it's okay for that to be a milestone of yours that you want. You're like, you know what? In my things, marriage is one of the things.
Yeah, and I've achieved, and I've reached a new milestone.
Yeah, like I've ticked that box.
But an achievement that someone can wake up and take away from you, a marriage has, if you're lucky, like I keep saying, if you're lucky,
you're lucky in Kampala, you're two people.
If you're lucky, you're two people, husband and wife. But the way we are set up as a society, you're not two. Your husband, wife, mother-in-law, sister-in-law, plus side chicks.
Side chicks, side guy.
You don't know the influence of that marriage is broader than you.
So which means even the decisions of the marriage to last or not
are out of your hands. They're beyond your control.
So much beyond your control. Like you said, they have all those people that are privy to it, and also they're also decision makers in whether you stay, whether you don't.
The stakeholder ecosystem is too broad, too wide
for that to be an achievement. Like, that cannot be. I think also the thing is, like, if it's something that is like, oh yeah, to be fair, marriage is also blood, sweat and tears. But if it's not something that is yours, that you've worked so freaking hard for, and like you have put in the work, you have put in the sweat, you get like, it's yours. You get like what you were saying with like even like a degree, for example. Even if it burnt down today,
if Makerere burnt down today,
Exactly.
there's someone who will issue you the new. Let's say your certificate burns today. Someone will issue you a new certificate.
Exactly.
National Council of Higher Education, and you say my certificate, they will find for you a solution.
Exactly.
So it's not.
So
gone.
it will always be there. It will always be yours. Like no one can take that off. So I think that's the most. I think that's the first and most important thing. Like we need to stop making, because it's the one that also brings all these problems where now you're okay now like. And it's also a thing like it's never just marriage, because even after marriage there's also other things.
Yeah.
Because now that's where the third wife thing comes in, because now like you want your marriage to be like, oh my God, my marriage is like the epitome of marriages, because I'm like, he takes care of me, he does everything for me, I don't have to do anything. Da, da, da. So now people are pressuring their husbands or their marriages to get to that step. Then after that, now you have this other person who is telling you 50-50. So now you're saying, but my marriage is not like other people's marriage. Or you're now providing in the entire marriage because you have... Because so the thing is like, it never stops.
It never stops.
So I think what we need to do is also just like, I don't know what the word is, but just take away the power from that marriage thing, because then it allows people to also marry the right people. Like you're just getting married for just because it's time. You get like it's time is like what we were saying the last time. It's to check a box of
it fits the aesthetic that you're doing, the brand, the
personal brand that you're looking for.
Yeah.
It fits maybe the personal brand that you're looking for, but also it fits like the timeline. You're like, oh my God, like I got the degree, I got the job, I got this. Now where's the marriage? So now you're on time. And then the next lumpen that is there tells you two nice things. You're like, oh my God, let's go. You get it? But it's not even, you're not even thinking about like this, is this a person I want to spend the rest of my life with? That's where people are convincing you to do 50-50. You're like, you know what? It's kawa. Let's just go, we'll do that 50-50, we'll figure it out.
Then kutuga.
Nga mulimu 50-50, you get. What's all about gatanikira kumbaga?
Wedding loan.
On the wedding loan.
But when I hear the things like when I hear some of these things, I'm just like, but people are going through it, man. Like going through.
No, but that's the thing. Like you're accepting. We are accepting so much nonsense in the name of I am married. You get. You're there. You're with a guy. He's cheating on you. He's doing all these things. But then you've still gotten married to him, and then you get married 2 years in. You're like, oh, he's cheating, madam. He was cheating before. So what has changed now? You get like, what has changed from then now? You went in the things when you knew. But you papaed because it had to be like, you wanted to be married. You wanted to be Mrs. So-and-so. You wanted to be Mrs. So-and-so. But even that Mrs. So-and-so, sometimes also you have to realize the name that you're taking on. Because there are some names where you go and introduce yourself as Mrs. So-and-so. And all of us are looking at you.
Even that one could convince a babe like you.
Do you know how many times with someone
has seen yourself?
You're like,
that one convinced you. You
like,
seen yourself.
Fine babe like you.
Fine girl like you. And for me, what's really mind blowing for me is the fact that as babes, I think we are not realizing our value, how valuable we are, because I keep saying the girls in our generation, they're very hardworking. The girls have gone to school. They are, doing what they need to do to survive.
They have businesses, they have jobs.
They have jobs. They are the ones paying the black tax. They're the ones. Then they add you that man and his mama and you're looking after his family, as in. Listen,
like you're the prize.
You're the
prize, babes. You're the prize, and that's the thing. I feel like also and it's funny because my friend's mom was telling us sometime. She was like, the thing is, you girls don't understand why we push you to get married young. It's because if we the older you get, the more switched on, you get the more switched on you are, so you cannot put up with nonsense. So that's why they push you to get married when you're 20 something, because then it's like you'll grow into the marriage with the person that you're with and whatever and stuff like that. But now that you're older, you're like, no, I'm not going to put up with that. I'm not going to put up with that. So I think, and which means even our parents knew, even our mothers, our aunties, they also know. They know that, you know what, you're the prize at the end of the day, but you don't know that yet when you're young, which is unfortunate. Because why are you pushing me in such things
which is unfortunate
when I'm so young? But then again, it's society. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But I think we just need to as women, you have to realize that marriage is not an achievement for you. Also, if you think about it, also the way that society is, actually marriage. was the biggest propaganda and scam that they sold to women, not to men, to women. Because if you think about it,
because the institution was created by men and the patriarchy, so it was the institution is patriarchal.
It's a patriarchal institution. Because if you think that, let me break it down. This is like, for me, I've always thought about it this way. When you get when you go into a job as a married woman, most of the time it will be like a point off for you, because they're thinking she's married, she's agenda kuzala, then those are times off. Then I know mommy, she has to leave at 5 p.m. on sharp to go and take care of him. Yet overtime. You get like, we can't do this. Also, technically, they're also thinking, this one, we're not going to harass her here at work. You get, so there's all those things. Unfortunately, those are things I think. So as a woman, you being married is not really a point for you when you get in the job. Do you know that men actually wear fake wedding rings?
Yeah, I know very many
jobs,
of them
because you're taken more seriously as a man if you're married, because they assume if you have a wife, you're responsible. You have someone that's taking care of you at home. You have someone that's pushing you, that's doing all those things.
Someone who's doing all that domestic, emotional,
domestic and emotional labor
in the background to give you the platform to come and be the best performer at work.
To be the best performer. Yeah. But as a woman, they're thinking that's a point off because she's going to give birth. Also, and it's actually true. Because as a man, you're going to get maybe, I mean, these days they give men 4 months paternity leave. But they're assuming...
In Uganda?
Yeah. Okay, no that's like Uganda, international companies.
Yeah.
In Uganda, they give you like 3 weeks.
We are still with 3 weeks around.
No, they'll give you those 3 weeks. But they also assume after 2 weeks, you'll be back to work. You get,
because you're not
the one taking care. You're not changing the diapers. You're not taking care of the baby. You're not doing all these things. As a woman, they're thinking, she has to give birth. And when you give birth,
I think go 3 months. If you're still in childbearing years, the average
every 2 years.
Is like what? Our what is it called? Birth rate is what? Uganda, we have one of the highest in the world. Of
course.
Over like 4 point something 5. Kati, if you're in childbearing years, between 30, let's say you got married at 30, between 30 and 40, that's when you almost every 2 years. But you don't go maternity leave. I tell that day called the times when you're going to maternity leave. This the husband.
So at the end of the day, like, you being married is working against you. You get, so as a woman, like, it's not an achievement if you think about it. And also, like, let's leave alone even the workforce. Again, even just at home, the responsibility that is put on you. Like right now, me, I'm single, I go back home. We're talking about me coming back home at 2 a.m. Actually, the other day I was here with Makobi and Felix. And they were talking about how, when I get married, how is a man going to allow me to be outside at 2 a.m. because I'm here, I'm editing work, and then he's at home, and then I have to wake up at 5 a.m. I was like, sir,
when you married,
where will he have found me? Exactly.
Did you find me?
But you see,
did you find me?
You knew my job. You get, but you see, that's the thing. Like, they would never ask a man something like that. But because, like, for him, it's like, yeah, you're working, you're doing all these things. So it's like there's, again, at the end of the day, like, it takes away from you. Like, there's no scenario where, as a woman, like, it's beneficial for you to get married. Because even just in personal life, you're going to go, now you see, like, I have the freedom to, like, work as I want, to do as I want, to come and go as I want. I don't have to think about someone else. When I get married, I have to think about, has someone eaten at home before I go back home? I have to think about the food. I have to think about, like, all the kids, this and this and that and that. Like, the responsibilities that come onto me are so much more.
Yeah.
The man, now he has reached a point where, before, if he used to think about what to eat in the evening, now he doesn't have to. He can't even come and there's no food in the house. You get nakzuksa. And he has come back from shooting at 2 a.m. He's like, baby,
there's no food in the house.
Let's wake up. You get, so you get that's a problem taken off his plate. Hygiene, that's a problem taken off his plate. You get, so for him, once he gets married,
he's just extracting.
And extracting into who? Me. You get, so I'm like, in what world were they able to convince us
because
that marriage benefits us?
They were able to convince us because, like I said, like, you know it. We live in a patriarchal. We still live in a patriarchy. We've been conditioned to believe that taking on all of that responsibility, that responsibility that does not pay, by the way, not the responsibility of the job of like senior level positions or whatever, but the responsibility of caregiving, of doing the donkey work. That's we've been told
that's the achievement.
That's the achievement. So we've been conditioned to believe that as I keep saying, being in relationship with men, we like them, we want to be with them. Yes, companionship, but it's actually for us as women, it's net negative.
It's negative.
Negatives from the very
like it's a scam, because how have they convinced you? Because remember, also they make it seem like when oh my god, she finally got married. It's not the guy finally got married, it's you. Like, oh my god, she managed, she did the impossible, she got married. I was like, but you're operating like you start in positive. You're just
removing negative. The one who had 5 businesses, by the time you're your third kid, even one business is hard to maintain. But it's so interesting. It's so interesting because we've all been conditioned this way.
Of course.
Like, you're not going to, even us, we are not going to lie to each other. Sometimes we sit and we say,
of course.
It's not what it was made out to be. It's not what it was.
Like, whether we like it or not, we are conditioned because we're all looking for marriage, whether you like it or not. I think that the thing is, like, at some point is the best that we can do out of it, because whether I like it or, like I said that day, I was talking to a cousin of mine, and she had gotten into a relationship, and like, so the guy, like, they had been long distance from us, so the guy was like now staying with them, and she was like, Afsa, I pick up after this man. This is a chick who would never. But the thing is, at the end of the day, whether you like it or not, love will be you go back to default.
But I keep saying,
but we just have to be very conscious about it.
I keep saying, like, you see where we've reached at our age, and I'm not saying like we're that old but we're also not young, very young.
Yeah.
But bulijiwe yongera ko with age, and the longer you stay single, like you were saying, like your auntie was saying, at least you're better placed to say -10 versus -2. I can calculate.
At least I'll take negative.
I'll take -2, not the one who covers me -10, because that 10 can multiply very quickly to -30.
Before you know it, and because if you've gotten comfortable, you now be in those things of like, you know what, better the devil. It's better than devil. I know. You guys. No, but like the truth is that it's a lie. It's a scam. But for me, my advice, even to my friends, I mean, we've talked about this before. I think now we've gotten to a point where, like, we just need to decide what kind of marriage you want. You get, like, once you decide that, you know what, this is the kind of marriage, because at the end of the day, we're going, like, that's where we're all moving to at some point. Those ones who want it, and most of us do.
Yeah.
But like, you now just have to be very conscious of like, what type of marriage do you want? Like, now just build that kind of marriage that you want and be like, okay, fine, you know what? This is what I want. This is what I can accept. This is what I can deal with. It's not going to be the best. It's not going to be 100%. But at least it will be, you know what? That one gives me peace. And like you said, at least this is -2 banang. It's not like, it's not the whole entire -10. You get.
But also thinking about it from, you know, like we've said, at the end of the day, I think we all want that partnership, whatever shape or form it comes looking like. Partnership and companionship and whatever.
I think that's the thing. I think like we just have to shape and curate the kind of partnerships that we're okay with. If it's like, if finances are the most important thing to you, then get someone that fits that financial goal and thingy that you want. If it's maybe emotional labor, or you want someone that actually helps you at home, or maybe you get like whatever it is that you're looking for. I think
it has come to me. Exactly, because you see, at the end of the day, even though we're saying, you know, there's this societal pressure and everything, like, for some people, we also realize the environment that we live in, and until you reach certain things, you know how, like we were laughing and saying, even us, we want to be called Mrs. Gundine Gundi, but not just because, but because I know what. Yes, in the workplace, there's all of these negatives. Yes, we've talked about, you know, the unnecessary loads that, you know, some of marriages and the way we've designed them, or the way we've continued to live in. You know, in our context, how the emotional, physical, financial labor it adds to you. But then there's also just like the social components, right? Our respectability manenos that we like doing, right? Kuba ngati gwe even in your family omuntu aba Mrs. Gundi
100%.
They respect is
Mrs.
different.
Gundi doesn't go and bathe the children.
Naigwe mutesi bakugaba
abana batewana bana just go and bathe them quickly.
Kendo mugubye mbere abana bali chokada abana sibako nayo Mrs. Gundi
bamwechtiwa Mrs. Gundi, see, I get exactly what you're saying. So of course, like, that's the thing, at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, marriage has been put to a certain thing in society, So, and you have to play societal games, whether you like it or not. You're like, we're in the battlefield, we're in the field, and we have to play that game. So whether you like it or not, like, I might hate it with all of my heart, but at the end of the day, I know for a fact, if I was Mrs. Gundi, it would make it easier to go to the wedding in December. You get? You get, no one is asking me mob questions. No one is sending me to go now and over pick up this to go and be. I'm not the usher at the wedding. Oh my God.
But single women could have
You're the one, go usher at the wedding. You're the one serving the wakadi at the wedding. But you get, but like, if you're Mrs. Gundi, he
never seen it. Never Sunday. So please,
it has its, don't get me wrong, it has its perks there, here and there. But the thing is, like, those perks are not enough.
Yeah.
For me to not to like just turn a blind eye to all the other things. That's why I'm saying, like, because we all want those perks, because also the companionship, to be fair, like even the companionship. So I think we just need to be very careful about, like, and be very intentional and very conscious about, like, the people that we decide to create that companionship with.
Yeah.
Do they add on to you, or are they just taking? You get, like, do they also meet all the things that you want? Because not like you, Liz, like, if you're going to meetings and World Economic Forum meetings, you also want whoever is next to you to be able to have certain discussions. You get, like, it just, like, let's stop doing things out of desperation, but, like, also even, because the truth is also, when a man is picking, he's going to pick the one that works for him.
The best possible candidate.
His needs, kufumba na kuoze ngoye. He's going to, wife the one who's only afumba na yoze ngoye. If his needs is the one who's going to put him in certain rooms, that's the one he's going to marry.
Just 2 weeks ago, they were talking about saying, was giving me my ranking on someone's list. When they chose
what?
They said gwe batukuba mu list dagava kati ono pros cons kati gwe walinga number 3 kuolu. I said
you see, so that's something. Even us, let's move like that, pick the one that decide what your wants and needs are, and pick the one that fits those wants and needs. At least let the one
to the closest
thingy
possible,
like possible thing, and be like, okay, this is the one that I'm going to go with because he meets all these things. Because at least there, a little bit.
And also I think we need to release ourselves from the idea that there are no people or there are no partners out there. I'm actually a believer in that. Yes, the few rotten apples around us are not the general.
They're not a representation.
They're not a good representation. And I'm not saying that. Okay, I also don't want to say there are many because but I don't know.
The thing is that
the problem is our parents' generation. They raise the girls well. The girls are
proper.
The prizes. The boys. The pond that we have,
it's not. It's a dirty pond. It's a dirty pond.
But
I think the thing is, what I'm seeing that is going to come out of this situation of like that because I think the conversations that we're having, like marriage not being a reward, it's not us. Like since like these are conversations that have been happening. So many people have been like so many women have woken up to it. We're talking about how like the other day. There was a study that came out in America where it was what they were saying, I don't know if it was worldwide or just American, but it was saying how we now have the lowest birth rate ever recorded.
Yeah.
Women are refusing to
in
give
many parts
birth.
of the world. In the developed parts of the world.
Women have decided
they've
like we are tired. But you get now they have rested. They're like, you know what, we are tired. We're not doing the emotional labor. We're not doing all of this. They're like we've packs out of this game. You get, and the thing is, and it's going to probably continue like that. And honestly, I'm proud of us. Because until you get what it is that you're looking for, it's not for by force.
That's not by force.
Because also even this child that they're saying, wow, people be like, oh yeah, like your legacy, but it's not going to be my legacy.
Even that one of legacy, we'll discuss it one day.
Legacy is a whole other thing.
People confuse your lineage with legacy.
With
The boys be saying, but my people to continue my legacy. Just say you want people to continue your lineage.
Your lineage and bloodline.
Because legacy, butemulina. If you really look into what a legacy is, abasinga temulira legacy. Again,
Olimu office or to doga or legacy. Anyway, but yeah, so I think that's the thing. Like also like that. I think that's the kind of resistance that women are coming up with. Is like, you know what? Like they're resting. They're like, I'm not going to suffer. I'm not going to kill myself. I'm not going to come and kill myself. You get? It's not for by force.
Yeah.
It's not again because we've figured out that it's just labor. It's free domestic labor, free emotional labor. Like that's all we're getting. That's majority of what we're getting out of these situations. That's majority of what we're getting out of like these marriages and stuff like that. So I think what women all over the world are saying is like, you know what, packs out of this game. We are tired because there is nothing that you're giving me that I'm like, you know what, that is what I'm looking for. That is where I want to be.
Yeah. So we have a dilemma today. On that. Generally, the topic we've been discussing. So the dilemma is, I, 26 female, have been dating Alan, 29 male, for 8 months. We met at a friend's birthday in Kololo, and from day one, he was charming, ambitious, he works in tech, and talked about wanting something serious. But here's the thing, I feel like I'm his girlfriend only when it's convenient. When he wants to go to fancy spots like his Zumi or a weekend in Ginger, he's blowing up my phone. He'll call me my queen and post us on Snapchat. But if it's just a regular Tuesday and I want to hang out at mine, he's too busy. He also keeps talking about partnership and 50-50 energy. But in practice, that means he'll cover date night. And if we're somewhere Instagrammable for the gram. And then he'll expect me to contribute for literally everything else, including fuel money when he's using his car. Last weekend, I overheard him on a call telling his friends how women these days need to bring something to the table. And that soft life babes, these soft life babes only want sponsors. It stung because I pay my own rent and I'm not asking him for bags or wigs, but I'm starting to feel like I'm in a competition I didn't sign up for. When I confronted him, he said I'm being dramatic and that this is what modern love looks like. Now I'm wondering, is this just dating in Kampala now? Am I expecting too much by wanting someone who shows up even when it's not a soft life moment, or am I ignoring red flags? Sis. I mean, I only 26. I only have one answer for you.
Run.
That's the answer.
You know that meme of run. Run.
I swear, that's the only answer I have for you here.
That's you guys, but they're so young. Like 29 and 26.
But this is what the kids are dealing with, girl. Like, this is what the people are dealing with. The children, we're not okay. Because first of all, we've been dating for 8 months. But you're dating, and this is why we go back to the beginning of the conversation.
What are you dating? Are you exclusive? Is that your boyfriend? Like, what is it? What have you been doing for 8 months? Because then also there, like, the expectations and the things that in those 8 months, like, we need to understand why are those things there in 8 months. Do you get?
Yeah. Why is the relationship looking that crazy in the span of 8 months?
You're supposed to be in honeymoon.
And talking about wanting something serious.
Yeah.
But he's not acting like he wants something serious. I think this, first of all, she should know. She said he only wants for them to spend time together on the weekend. So where is he the other 5 days of the week? I think you're the side chick.
But also what of the 100% the side chick. But also, first of all, I feel like that's where the conversation should have ended because that's not your boyfriend. That's not your boyfriend, that's not your person.
You're sharing him with
3 others. You get, isn't it Caesar who said, you can have the other days, I'll take him on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So, but also, why, if you're only seeing each other on Saturday and Sunday, what something serious is that you want?
It's not something serious. That's why I said, but no baby.
Anyway, but that's what I'm also saying. Again, it comes back to what are you doing? What is dating?
Yeah.
Because now that person is going to tell you if you ask that person right up, they're going to tell you, but we're just talking. Because if you're seeing each other Sunday and Saturday, you're talking. Honestly, that's not dating. Because what dates are you going on Saturday and Sunday?
But just izumi, weekend trip. Just know you're the good time girl.
You're the good time girl on
There's
the
someone
weekends.
who is there for Monday to Friday, 5 days a week. And for her, by the way, she may not even be in your 50-50 things. For her, they're paying for her 100,
for everything.
100%. So
Also, why are you spending time someone with on the weekend? Like that 50-50, go and take your girlfriends out. Go out with your friends. It really doesn't
and enjoy
make
your life.
sense.
At 26, I don't know why.
Anyway,
I don't know why you're suffering.
Why
like
you're
this.
suffering like that? Like 26, like people are supposed to be taking you out. People are supposed to be, like you're supposed to be really living
In
that
your
good
baby
life.
girl
In
life.
baby girl life, like.
No stress, no pressure.
Anyway, so we've run out of time, but all in all, if you're 26 and you're being seen on the weekend, run. Actually, no, if you're anyone and you're being seen on the weekend, run. But also, if you're 26, man, enjoy life. Enjoy life, enjoy men, enjoy money, enjoy...
It's not that serious.
Make irresponsible decisions. It's really, really not that serious. No one should be telling you they want anything serious from you when you are 26.
That's why we are on your podcast shouting for you.
All of those things. Especially if the person is clocking 30 and you're not even halfway.
You're not even
You're not,
near.
like you're not there. So let that person go. Actually, when you're 26, and I know like it's something that it won't make sense because when you're that age, you're thinking I need like older guys, I need more mature guys because you feel it's mature. You're not. But my thing is, if you're in that age thingy, date people your age because those are the ones that you're going to enjoy with. But yeah, so that was that for today. Please like, subscribe, share everything. Comment if you agree with us. If you disagree with us, please comment. We are open to everything, all comments, all engagements. But always remember, this is not therapy, but it
might help. Bye. See you next week.